I suck at games, but it wasn't always like this. Back on console, I was the king of COD, the best Fortnite player of all time, and had the best no-scopes anyone ever seen.
There's one.
They refer to me as one of the greats, but one day, I switched to PC, and everything changed. Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Gent the Gent, and today I'm going to be testing if aim trainers actually work and what effect they can have in different games. I made the switch to PC in January of this year, but only really started playing shooters on PC in May. I started by realising very quickly how bad I was compared to other PC players who'd been playing for longer. I'd been watching tips and tricks videos, but there was only so much they could actually do. So I decided I'd take this problem head on. I downloaded AimLab off Steam and dedicated a whole month, to see how much better I could get. Starting off, I took some gameplay from TF2 when I was playing as the sniper. It's my least played class, but not necessarily my least favourite. I always liked the sniper class, but I was never good enough to warrant actually trying him out. I could never hit shots, and I would end up just getting frustrated. Next up, I got some gameplay from Fortnite, which is the game that inspired this video, because I'm so horrifically terrible, and I want to stop getting carried by my friends. See, I switched straight from PlayStation to PC, and this has been the game that I played most during this. I want to be able to confidently hit the shots and fights. See, I managed to get the building down somewhat quickly from console, but aiming on PC has just been a nightmare. Going off of those two, one of my favourite games ever, Battlefield 4. I played the crap out of this on PS4 and Xbox 360 when it came out, and I just don't stand a chance on PC. It's one of my favourite games, one of my favourite shooters, and I loved it so much, and I just can't get up to the level that PC players are at, especially with them having so much experience on this old game. I really hope I am improving this as much as possible. It is such a fun game. The final game that I'll be looking at is Valorant. Now, I need to say this, I do not play Valorant, and I do not like CSGO. I have no experience at all with these kind of games going into this. I wanted to add Valorant to this as I figured that aim training would be very beneficial for this type of game. And we'll see what game improves the most, what kind of style of game will improve the most. And that's why I'm trying to get a big variety of different games here. Now the games are out the way, I'm going to show you how I'm going to track how it improves. I played 10 games on each game and took the 5 highest kill games and made an average. In TF2 I played Sniper for each game and played Capture the Flag. In Fortnite I played Team Rumble using only the stock loot. I went Team Rumble instead of normal solos or duos, as I thought I'd encounter more players and get a wider range of skill. Then when I played Battlefield, I went into Team Deathmatch with the Assault class, using mostly the AK-12 and SCAR, and for Valorant I did it differently. See, in Valorant the games are a lot longer, so I figured I'd do 6 games instead of the 10. I'd do 3 in unranked and 3 in ranked, average them out, as the competitiveness in each game mode would be different. So here we are at the averages. In Valorant, I had the highest average kills per game at 18. Team Fortress 2 came in last with just 5 kills per game. Battlefield 4, second place at 9.2 kills. And Fortnite with 7.4 kills. Now let's get into AimLab Week 1. In Week 1, I managed a total of 9.5 hours in AimLab, and this is how it went. Right off the bat, I jumped into some flicking exercises and did terribly. I did so terrible. I was absolutely god awful at my flicks, even in grid shot, where I'd seen streamers make it so goddamn easily, and I struggled so immensely. I moved on from flicking to tracking, which was definitely the strongest of my abilities. I wasn't good by any means, and was in the top 80% according to AimLab, but it was by far my strongest attribute. The first thing I decided to do after realising how atrocious I actually did was to make a playlist, which was incredibly easy and intuitive, I must say. I feel, by saying that I'm kind of making it sound like an ad, but truthfully, AimLab is excellently designed. Fantastic UI. My playlist consisted of a flicking exercise, then a tracking exercise for a minute each, and I added 30 of them. And I made sure I did this every single day. AimLab made it super easy to track my stats and see my personal best, which was great. One thing about AimLab is that every player that has it has a link, and it will show you their stats. Mine's on screen right now, and in the description if you want to spoil where I am at the end of this. I'd also made a playlist to just practice my flicks. Reason for this was the fact my flicks were so incredibly awful. In the first week, I didn't really notice anything in TF2 or Battlefield 4, but I saw massive improvement in Fortnite and Valorant. To be frank, I noticed them in Fortnite on the first day. I went on straight after doing half an hour of AimLab and felt like I was playing significantly better. As stupid as it sounds, I could feel how much better I'd gotten by hitting the circles when getting mats. In Valorant I wasn't much better, if I'm being honest, but a big part of it was mainly in the feel of it. Going over the tasks I did most, in Spider Shot, my best at the end of week 1 was 39,226 with an accuracy of 79. In Strafe Shot I got a best of 34,599 with an accuracy of a mere 35%. And finally, Grid Shot, I'm very proud of this, I got a top score of 45,274 with an accuracy of 88%. I was very proud of that one. I do gotta say though, if you do anything similar, anything at all similar with aim training like I've done, be prepared for like some wrist fatigue. My wrist would get like shaky after playing for extended periods of time, and that made practice way harder. So for week 2 I'm gonna make sure to keep that in mind and practice smarter, not harder. One thing that did put week 1, a bit of a downer on week 1, is I only did my playlist. I didn't really play solo tasks, and they were really only consisting of 3 tasks. And while that was good, I had it on practice, meaning any scores didn't really track, and I might not have any stats for this first week. But I'll tell you, second week, I'll have plenty. So AimLab's actually the best thing ever. The games from week 1 were great and helped me get a grip, but week 2 I discovered how much fun I could actually have aim training. Since I could see my stats going up, I got a little dopamine boost every time I leveled up. This led to me training way more, and I put far more hours in than the previous week. Now this is a good thing. Hearing this you're probably thinking, wow, that's going to improve things a little bit more. But dear God, did it improve things a little bit more. I started week 2 by upping my DPI settings. AimLab had taught me that I have a left side weakness, and the reason for this was I couldn't move my mouse far enough to the left quick enough. My scores dipped for a day, but I got back up to my previous averages and even got some new high scores. Now I'm unsure if it was training more or the extra movement, but I just saw huge improvements in Fortnite TF2 and Valorant. Now you may have noticed I haven't named Battlefield there. Unfortunately this is because I haven't seen any improvement in Battlefield 4. In fact I've seen unimprovement. I got more kills overall with the recon class, but in other classes I did worse. Now, it really hadn't improved as quickly as others, but that being said, a major part of improving in Team Fortress 2 was actually learning the class better. I retook my averages for TF2 and Fortnite and saw TF2 go for a mere 5 kills to 10, doubling my previous average in just 2 weeks. A very similar result for Fortnite 2, with my average going up from 7.4 kills to 13.8. My training changed constantly around whatever had the lowest AimLab score. I really enjoyed this aspect of AimLab where I could quickly see what stat was lagging behind at any given point. I also watched a fantastic video which will be linked straight in the description top part by Dazs. I hope I'm saying that right. This helped me know what task to choose. It helped me learn tips, just general tricks about aiming. Just generally helpful tips. If you're ever planning on doing this or doing something similar, make sure you watch that video. I'll skip my best scores and just show you my stats. So as you can see, at the end of week 2, I had made it to Ruby 2. To me, this was a huge success for me. At the end of week 2, I started experimenting with different tasks outside of my usual playlists and tips. And I'd sunk a total of 22 hours into AimLab. It was insane, and I really started to enjoy this. I actually played AimLab more than I played Valorant and Battlefield 4, which is insane. I'm excited for it. Week 3, bring it on.
Someone's in, someone in this house.
Motivation is a song by Sum 41, and that is what I lost in week 3. To start week 3 off, I couldn't get into AimLab for 3 days, and then, if it ever let me in, it would just kick me out after 5 minutes. This almost made me scrap this entire video, but having only 1 week after this made me push on. I tried everything I could to get it to stop closing, but it just wouldn't work. But thankfully, it literally just fixed itself, so we're all good now. I was tempted to add extra days, but honestly, I just wanted to get done and get week 3 out of the way. Now, in week 1, I actually claimed, sure to keep that in mind, and practice smarter, not harder. Well, I didn't do that at all. After I said that, I never changed anything. I didn't really do anything different to train smarter. I, however, did for the remainder of week 3, I posted on Reddit, on each game subreddit, looking for tips regarding aim and what other players had done to improve their aim. I paid more attention to YouTube videos on AimLab and tried far more tasks to give more variety. This helped immensely in Battlefield. After learning about bursting from Reddit, my kills per game and accuracy improved drastically, which made me incredibly happy as I finally stood a chance against the more experienced PC players. TF2 and Fortnite, they had kind of peaked in week 2. Of course there was improvement, but what needed really to improve would just be in general, not just aim. I think at this point, I can confidently answer the title's question. Yes, aim trainers do work. And that's great. Going over the stats, unfortunately they did in fact go down slightly. This isn't a bad thing, as I know I'm far more consistent and I actually have improved. The reason for the scores going down and getting lower is because of me doing so many different more tasks and not perhaps getting a high enough standard in those tasks to level up. But that being said, it's time for the final week. What a fantastic song that is. Week number 4 was fantastic, and here is the footage of me playing.
I don't miss a shot. Yeah, they've given me aimbot. Oh!
I'm gonna be insane at the game for once.
What? Where is he?
On the real though, week 4 was pretty much exactly the same as week 3. After the second week, it felt almost identical, and it never really felt like I was ever going up to the next level. I've been told that AimLab is actually just better to use for getting the basics down, and if I ever want to step it up, to use Kovacs. So potentially, I'll continue this into Kovacs and see how much further I can get. Unfortunately, I did have myself in practice for all of week 4, again, which is just stupid, I'm sorry, but it's all about the differences in averages at the end, so here they are. TF2 had an average of 16.2 kills per game, Valorant had an average of 21.9 kills per game, and Fortnite with a whopping 24.3 kills per game. And then Battlefield, unfortunately, 9.2, seeing no improvement. The thing that I gained most over the last 2 weeks was just the consistency more than anything. The reason for Battlefield 4 not having any improvement is just down to the fact I just didn't play it as much as the others. I wasn't having fun, so I didn't play it. I'll put it on screen, but I had more hours in AimLab than the entirety of Battlefield 4. So, to answer the question one more time, does aim training actually work? I'm inclined to say yes. It's undeniable that it helped me immensely, but at the same time, part of it was just getting better at each game. I never sat down and just tried hard to get good at the game, and this sitting down for a month, I think, was a big part of it. For what it's worth, this video has condensed an entire month of my life, so if you're doing something similar and you don't see the same results, I did keep a month of this. This video is short compared to a month of my life, so just stick at it. The effect that I think it's had in different games, and I think a game like Fortnite and TF2, where we're aiming like sniper class, it's basically just clicking on heads. There's no major recoil, there's no like bullet time, so it's literally just clicking on people. It is perfect for that. Fortnite the same, shotgun flicks, hitting long distance shots with an assault rifle. It helps immensely. But in games like Valorant, it didn't help me. Valorant was a big part of it was me learning just tricks about Valorant rather than aiming. Of course, it had helped me a little bit, but it didn't help me as much as I thought it would. And Battlefield 4, almost no improvement. It's sad how much it didn't improve in Battlefield 4, but I think a big part is down to me just not sitting down with the game. So this is it, the end. Thank you so much for watching this far. This is my first time doing anything like this, so please criticise me by leaving a dislike and telling me what I did wrong. Just remember the one thing that did help me more than anything.
Just hit your shots, kid. It's quite simple. Do you want to get good? Yes, then I want to get good, then hit your shots, kid. Last time I checked, oh yeah, you didn't hit your shots. Have fun in the lobby.